Hello, my name is Leena Marsio and I work for the Finnish Heritage Agency. In my presentation, I will tell you a bit of how we have implemented the UNESCO Convention on the Safeguarding of Intangible Cultural Heritage in my country, and especially related to the work of museums in Finland, as is the theme for today. I will also tell a bit about what is happening in other Nordic countries in relation to the convention. The convention itself came into force in 2003, and since then it's been really growing and conquering the world, one can even say. So at the moment we are 179 state parties, part of this convention. So active work under safeguarding living heritage is happening all over the globe. In addition to the state parties, there are 193 accredited NGOs taking part in the work of the convention. It is the communities that are in the heart of the convention. So this means that the people practicing, transmitting, transferring the heritage to next generations are the ones who are the key players and who should be taken into account in all of the actions under the convention. It is also a sister to the World Heritage Convention. One can say that the convention is a tool to safeguard living heritage. Here you can see some of the means under the convention. So one of them, and one of the few to be taken into account in the convention, is the inventorying of ICH, and people working in the museums are very aware of inventorying work, but here it is really about community-based inventorying. Later I will tell you a bit more what countries have been doing under this obligation. But it is also about adopting legal, administrative, and financial measures for safeguarding intangible cultural heritage. And I will tell you in a minute what we've been doing under this in Finland, and especially related to the museums. It's about raising awareness and fostering respect for living heritage. And here I think also the inventories are an important part of this work. It's about encouraging communities to undertake safeguarding activities and about supporting communities to ensure that they benefit from safeguarding their own ICH. The convention is a tool for safeguarding. And safeguarding, it's about ensuring the viability of living heritage. So through the work that we do under this convention, be it in the governmental level or in museums, is that we ensure and make it possible for different forms of living heritage to be existing and viable in 50 years times, or 100 or 200 years. Safeguarding measures are then actions to promote ICH in general or to revitalize specific ICH elements, and also here the museums have a role to play. Safeguarding measures address the threats and or the risks to the viability of intangible cultural heritage. The picture of this document is the basic text of the 2003 convention, and you can find them easily by Googling basic text convention 2003 to have a more close look what this convention in practice is about. The international lists of ICH under UNESCO are maybe the most famous part of this convention, and they are also known because of the World Heritage List, but it's important that these two lists, or the lists under the World Heritage Convention and the list under this convention, are not mixed. The elements are different, and then also the ways to safeguard or protect them are very different. So in the ICH list, there is the representative list of the intangible cultural heritage elements, 463 at the moment, and then the list of ICH in need of urgent safeguarding, 64 elements, and also the register of good safeguarding practices, 22 elements at the moment, and these lists are then updated and growing every year, and next time in December 2020. Have a look at the really nice website under UNESCO Dive into ICH, which tells you more about these elements and their relation to each other. As today's topic is the museums and living heritage in the Nordic countries, I'm happy to tell you that all the Nordic countries have ratified this convention, and we have a good group of colleagues in all of our countries. So here you can see the names of the institutions and the name of the coordinators of each and every country. So if you live in one of these countries, don't hesitate to find their websites online and to contact me or any of my colleagues to know more what you and your museum can do more in the safeguarding of living heritage. All of these countries are also working on living heritage inventories with different kind of communities, and you can find a lot of information what is ICH in your own country and what kind of communities are working with them. These inventories are updated all the time, so you are very welcome to go and find out more and also contribute yourself. All of our countries are also working for nominations to the international lists of ICH. Sweden and Norway have elements on the lists, and the rest of us, we are still working, and we are also looking for exciting results in December 2020 regarding many new nominations. You can find more information about these from the website of UNESCO. One interesting website for you to have a look is the www.safeguardingpractices.org. It's a nice website about good safeguarding practices in Nordic countries and beyond. So different kind of methods how living heritage is safeguarded at the moment. And also this website is currently updated, so feel free to participate also in this process. Now I will tell you a bit more about what we've been doing in Finland in the past years. So my organization under the government, the Finnish Heritage Agency, runs responsibility for the implementation. We are very proud of our wiki inventory for living heritage, which at the moment has 175 examples from over 240 communities in 5 languages. So different kind of heritage communities produce the content, and we are the one moderating this wiki platform. Every second year it's possible to make an application to the national inventory, and at the moment we have 64 entries in it. The decisions for the elements made to the national inventory are made by the Ministry of Education and Culture, that is advised by the Finnish Heritage Agency and also the advisory group of ICH. One way to work in Finland are the circles of living heritage. So these are basically networks under many of the domains under ICH. And at the moment, we have around 80 NGOs and other institutions working or active in these circles. Do find out more about what we do on our website. You can see the link at the slide. Give you an example what the Finnish museum field looks at the moment or last year. So this is from the statistics card of the Finnish Heritage Agency that tells the picture of professionally managed museums in Finland. So they are 153 at the moment with 7.6 million museum visits, and the proportion of revisits is at the moment 47.6. 1,004 new exhibitions were opened in the museums, and you can see the really vast amount of guided tours, workshops, and other events. But in addition to these 153 professionally managed museums, there are around 1,000 local voluntary museums. So this really tells about the vast field of museums in my country. And this also shows the big potential that museums have for the implementation of this convention and for the better safeguarding of living heritage elements. As mentioned in one of my first slides, the convention is also about measures, financial and political and administrative measures. So for example, in Finland, we had a new Museums Act, and we were happy to see that there also regarding the role of the museums, it is stated that preserving tangible and intangible cultural heritage and promoting accessibility are part of the role that the museums have. Also, the Act on Municipal Cultural Activities urges municipalities to promote the maintenance and use of cultural heritage and activities that support and develop local identities. And here the heritage is defined that it's both intangible and tangible. Furthermore, the government program from last year stated that intangible cultural heritage will be protected. So one could say that we have a really good background for this work in Finland. In the past years, we've done many kind of cooperation with the museum field in Finland. So in different kind of events and webinars, we've been giving out information what the convention is about, but also organizing different kind of workshops in different themes. So you can also find online in our Elävä perintö YouTube many videos about these seminars, regional, thematical, be it crafts, nature, Sami heritage, and so on. Many museums have played a role in documenting and providing support for the heritage communities in inventorying. In these pictures, you can see, for example, playing in the snow with Tuusulahti ski museum, or then the glass making tradition where Glass Museum was one of the facilitators of the process, or then the Eastern bonfires where the Provincial Museum of South Ostrobotnia was the driving force. But then I would also like to say that through the Intangible Heritage and Museums project and its great toolkit and publication launched in the beginning of this year really gives us more tools to work with both for the museums and also for the ICH field. One of the tools that we have created in Finland, inspired by the international IMP project, is the set of inspiration cards. So you can find the original card set in English from the website of the project. But we decided to make our own inspiration card here in Finland. So we sent out the call for Finnish museums through a mailing list reaching out to 2,000 museum professionals. We got a lot of replies, and out of these we edited 40 examples from different kind of museums from all parts of the country. And there you can see one of the examples by Helena Rautavaara Ethnographic Museum and their virtual reality experience with the Durga Puja celebration from India and made in cooperation with the Indian community here in Finland. There's a nice workshop model coming directly from the IMP cards and project. And we really think this is a nice way to shed light what in practice living heritage work with different kind of communities can be. So it's at the moment it's in Finnish, but we'll see if there is interest. We are ready to translate it to other languages as well. But why not take the initiative in your own country and make a similar set and see what is happening in your country already and share the good practices with other museums. Lastly, one of the good tools we've created here in Finland is a thing called the Wheel Chart of Sustainable Development and Intangible Cultural Heritage. So this is the real printed version of the tool that you can roll around and discuss, to have a dialogue with your peer, with your colleague, within your museum, to see what sustainable development can be and could be in your own organization. So have a look from our website, aineetonkulttuuriperintö.fi, and it's available in 14 different languages at the moment. So feel free to take also this tool into your own toolkit. So thank you for listening, and good luck with all of your work in the museums with living heritage.